Oh, what's this saying? Oh, I think this video is getting broken up. I just got a little thing. Whoo, I don't know what's going on. But it's still recording. Anything in between, music wise. It does. Felicia is somebody who 1 minute wants to wear, a very retro 1950s outfit, but then the next day she wants to look like a completely different, like rock and roll Felicia. Um, there, there was no one way to pin me down, and it made some people really uncomfortable. Um, it drove a wedge in between some of my friendships, but I needed to solidify and remember who I am, what makes me who I am. And it took this really difficult experience of ending an 8-year relationship, um and like being thrown into my late 20s, needing to figure out who I am all over again when I never had that chance as an adult. I didn't know who Felicia the adult was. I knew who Felicia the teenager was. So I was taking all of these elements of Felicia the teenager and trying to figure out how they would work into relationship as Felicia the adult. Felicia the person pursuing a master's degree, Felicia the scholar and the teacher. So I think what I really want to get at here is I could have let the destruction of my identity have a really negative toll on me. I could have taken it in a completely different direction. I don't even know what that direction would have been in, but it could have been bad. I could have just latched onto something else or someone else and let that create my identity. And people were afraid when I started dating my now husband that that's what I was doing. But I wasn't. I was very conscious of every decision that I made, every thought that I had concerning every opinion that I expressed. I made sure it was mine, that I was aware of my motivation and that I was still in charge, that I was still the driving force between things. And I think that's really important. And to kind of tie this back, I can't believe how long this video is. Oh my God. To tie this back in with part one, maybe part two, maybe this is part three. I don't know what is happening. To tie this in with the other two stories, or with the other story, there's two together. This idea of something really bad can happen. You can be a victim of something. You can have what you thought your life was going to be like thrown out the window. I thought my ex and I were going to get married and have a family, and I had planned our wedding. I had things on my computer, where I had essentially drafted out a wedding. Um, his mom was convinced we were going to get married. Their family was convinced we were going to get married. Um, so it was very serious for me that everything I had thought my future was going to be was now gone, out the window, starting from square one. That's terrifying. That is so scary. And you can either take that fear and curl up in a ball and just do nothing with it. I don't even know how I could have done that in my situation, but that's an option. I could have done nothing. I could have just taken the void and done nothing. I could have stayed depressed. I could have wandered aimlessly through the rest of my existence, not knowing who or what I am, or clinging to the person I was when I was with my ex in hopes that something was going to change. I don't know. Um, or I could be myself. I could create myself. Um, my new handle on Instagram is Becoming Felicia. I was able to become Felicia. I was able to figure out what are my likes and dislikes. How do I really feel about the issues? What is my place in the overall scheme of my career, my life? What do I want? Where do I want to be? I'm now with somebody who, even though we don't agree on all of the issues, even though we don't want the same things 100% of the time, we back each other up, we support each other, and fundamentally, we want the same things. We're both willing to make sacrifices for each other, and we both want the same overall things out of life. And that's what's important. That's something I never would have been able to find if I had stayed with my ex, if I had just wandered aimlessly after we broke up. It's taking that bad situation, taking being abused as a kid, and finally now, all these years later, being able to own it and put it out there and be like, listen, this past Christmas, I told my family, I love you, but I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. I can't let these things define me. I am creating myself still, and I want to create a version of me that is strong, that is capable, that will stand up for myself, and that's not afraid. I'm not avoiding family events because I'm afraid. I'm not doing the things that I'm doing in life because I'm afraid. I'm doing all these things because that's who I am, for real. I've finally been able to, I'm in my 30s, in my early 30s. It has taken me this long, but I still have so much time to take what I've learned about myself and be somebody and do something. And it's not always the me that other people think I should be. When it comes to academics and my scholarly side, I don't always fit in. I don't always agree with all of my colleagues when it comes to anything. But that's an important side of me. When it comes to the side of me that feels, when it comes to like politics and things, I don't agree with anybody on any side of anything. I have my own things, but I'm not going to let any of those pressure me. I'm not going to say if I want to be a good academic or a good scholar, I need to be this. No, I need to be me, and as a teacher, as a professional, as a scholar, as a person, as a wife, as a mother, as a sister, as a friend, I have to be true to myself if I expect to do any good in this world. And I'm sitting here talking to you guys now for an hour. This is a 47-minute long video right now. I have been sitting here talking to you for an hour. If you're still watching this, I want this relationship to be something. I'm not saying I want to change your life or inspire you. That'd be amazing. I just want you to know that there's a person out there that you can connect with. If you are struggling, if you are scared or uncertain or anything, if you are anything that is a negative emotion, and you're having a difficult time navigating it, I can be a friend. I can be a person. I have experienced challenges, but I don't let those challenges define me. I'm not Felicia the victim. I'm not Felicia the I'm not Felicia the anything. I am Felicia. And I want you guys to think about the experiences that you've had and think about the options that you have for those choices, whether they're choices in the past or choices that you see coming up in the near future. Think of those choices and think about what you could do versus what you should do. And sometimes they're going to be the same. Other times they're going to be different. What you should do isn't always easy. What you should do isn't always going to be something that might seem like the best idea at the time. But it's that foresight. It's looking forward and saying, how can I take this? I'm standing at a crossroads. How can I take the decision that I am about to make and help that make me a better person down the road? So that when I encounter another crossroads, I don't have to struggle as much to make that next decision. That it'll be easier. Even every hard decision is hard. They wouldn't be hard decisions if they weren't. But how can you make navigating those a little bit less painful and a little bit less difficult? And if you are able to define who you are, if you know who you are and you are comfortable and confident and you overcome those challenges and you grow from them, you will be able to navigate those situations. And I want to help you. I want to be your friend. I hope we already are friends. I want to be your friend. I want to be someone you can talk to, be an ear to listen to you, which is why I'm going to continue to share my stories with you. I feel like I have more to talk about. I might even make another video for another day. I don't know. I'm just feeling so inspired to talk to you guys right now. So I'm going to end this, upload it, and be like, oh my God, it's so long. Thank you for sticking around. Bless you all to heck for sticking around, and I'll see you later. Mwah.